I just also had this other thought that so um for those TIs who are experiencing the electronic harassment attacks, like the frequency attacks against the body, heed these words, right? I'm going to tell you this, and for some of you may get it, some of you might know somewhat what I'm talking about, but listen. The entire Earth is basically encased in it's basically like a dome of, digital, like basically synthetic energy. So there's like numerous frequencies. It's like, think about like having like, how the Earth has its own like magnetosphere, like there's different layers that surround the Earth. Well, think about it like this. With the satellites that are in orbit around the Earth, they create, I don't know in particular, I only know of the 4 satellites I found that seem questionable of their operations. And that's the Sirius satellite, Sirius 1, Sirius 2, Sirius 3, and Sirius W Marco Polo. Aside from those satellites, I don't know how many other satellites could be working in tandem with it and with, with others. But anyway, the entire Earth is basically encased in like a globe of digital signals, right? And with all these sensors and the infrared light that's basically being transmitted over the entire Earth, anything that produces an electromagnetic field, anything that produces energy, if it can give off a numerical, like any energy that there is, there's a measurable, there's a way to measure how much energy is produced from that thing. Whether it's an item or a person, an animal, hell, probably a plant too. If it gives off energy, they have the technology to basically sense the numerical value of the energy being emitted from that thing. Not only just that, electronic devices basically give off like synthetic, energy, like, or basically radioactive energy, because the energy produced from, electronic devices are not natural. So when you think about batteries, phones, well, even if the battery isn't plugged into something or it's not being used by something itself, it's the idea that the battery or any electronic device basically has an aura of radiation that's emitted from it. Within that aura are a number of particles that can be basically concentrated into what's called an energy vacuum beam. They basically take those particles and concentrate it into like a narrow like tube, and then they can literally, this is like, I get all this just based off of like what I'm able to sense and feel, just understanding, my own energy and based on everything I read about chi from the Taoist perspective and prana from the Buddhist perspective, is like you got to realize what they're doing is, first and foremost, for each individual, for just about every single person, unless they're living in like the woods or, they're living somewhere remote where there's hardly any electricity or something like that. What they basically have done was they have used this near infrared light to basically find your frequency number, your genetic, energetic frequency number. Everyone has a unique frequency number, right? They literally use infrared light to find that number, right? And then what it is because we have an aura, right? Their light basically, it pierces through our aura, and then it basically infects our nervous system. It's like downloading a virus into a computer. The brain is basically like a computer. Like if you really think about it, the brain is basically like a supercomputer, right? It also runs, like the heart runs on electricity. Just about everything in your body runs on like a natural type of electricity. That's why they say if you have too much of a charge in your body, you'll become sick. You know, the cells in your body won't be able to function properly. If the cells don't function properly, then, you know, numerous systems in your body won't be able to function properly. So now what you need to learn is that what is happening to us is that we're basically infected with nanotechnology that is conductive. The nanotechnology, it is absorbing. It's absorbing more energy, and then it's basically working like an antenna, like a transmitter, right? So it's functioning based off of the energy it's probably absorbing from your body, and then also they can beam more energy onto your body, which causes the nanotechnology to absorb even more energy, which is literally heating up your body from the inside out. You know, like you're being microwaved from the inside out. Now, pay attention to the news. I want everyone to just note this. Pay attention to how many stories you see where it says the person died suddenly, or the person died from some type of respiratory issue, or the person died from some type of cardiac issue. Now, if you do enough research and you look up things like what are pros and cons or risks of nanotechnology and organic matter or living organisms, one of the things that you'll see or you'll find is proof that nanotechnology actually have adverse effects against the heart and the lungs. Because the nanotechnology can pass through blood-brain barriers, and literally it's conductive. So if it passes through blood-brain barriers, and it can throw off the rhythm of your heartbeat, or it can throw off the energy flow within your body, or the type of energy you need to be able to contract and expand your lungs. It's like, this is what's happening. Now, the WHO's, if you really want to get into the WHO's, what you got to do is you got to look into, like, if you're really trying to understand the WHO's, just know you will never be able to see these people, or you would never know these people if they walk past you in the street. The people who are controlling all of this, these are the people who are above, like, even the World Economic Forum. These are the people, like, probably like the Bilderbergs, the Rothschilds, you know, people like them. They're the ones who basically, like, control everyone else that has less money than they do, like, just under them. But less money and influence. But anyway, so what you got to remember is, even if you go and try to, like, I don't know, let's say go and live off in a woods somewhere, right? Notice how this guy's like kind of just like, oh, he talking to her. Anyway, yeah, she just trying to get where she going, and he's like, hey. But anyway, so just keep in mind, if you have an electronic device of any kind near your body, remember, you have what's called a body area network. If you have an electronic device anywhere near your body, even if it's just regular batteries, they can basically take the energy that's emitted from those devices and then take that radioactive energy and then focus it as a beam right to your body and attack certain parts of your body. You know, yeah, that's all I got for right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing my job, and I'll keep y'all posted. Peace.